Hi, my name is Ben Ankrum, and I am a junior here at Walsh, majoring in Museum Studies with minors in Art and History. I am going to speak today about my hobby and how it influenced my career of working as a curator or a registrar at a museum. I read and collect comics. Comics are considered cool now, but until recently I've had a lot of anxiety sharing with friends and family my passion for comics because people think it's really nerdy. Until all of these superhero books came, or superhero movies like Spider-Man, and I also have a copy of the book, which I don't even know if people know that this is a book, The Walking Dead, came out. People weren't really into comics, and the fans of comics were shunned by society. Conventions in the past, or conventions like the San Diego Comic-Con, weren't like that in the past. They weren't pop culture events, but they were actually more like small gatherings. They were usually held in hotel banquet rooms or the basements of churches. At one of these shows, I picked up a book about a bounty hunter. He's a cowboy bounty hunter named Jonah Hex, and he's got this weird scar in his face, and it's because he was, I don't know, he got captured by Apaches and they messed him up. But it introduced me to the genre of Western horror, which comic books is kind of the only place you could find something like that. It's not something that you see every day. This book was printed in March of 1977, and I had this book graded. That's why it's in this big plastic sleeve. It was graded by the CGC, which stands for the Certified Grading Company. As you can see, it was graded at a 9.6, and that's out of 10, which is pretty good for a book that's 37 years old. It has, the reason why it was graded so well is that it doesn't have the creases along the spine. They look for things like the corners being rounded, and the general color of the book, that it's bright and vibrant and not faded. Also, here it says that it has white pages. These books were printed on newsprint. Newsprint was just really horrible paper, very acidy, and they would brown quickly and yellow. So this is something that they look for in grading, and that's what makes it more valuable to collectors. Taking care of my collection became just as important as finding the comics I wanted, the collectible ones. I find myself checking the condition carefully before I buy a comic book. I look for flaws, like I said, the creases in the spine, or tears on the cover, or discoloration. I store them in plastic sleeves like this. They keep them, from moisture and things like that, as well as these backing boards, and these are acid-free. If there are impurities and things in the paper, which there are, these will absorb it, and they just slow the deterioration over the comic books after a long time, and try to keep them looking new. These steps in caring for my comics are similar to some of the tasks that curators and registrars are responsible for. I started getting comics because I enjoyed the characters and stories, but I also enjoy managing my collection and keeping it readable for years to come.